Hello everybody, I'm Jude and this is Lammy and together we are Little Lamb Tales. This week I'm doing a slightly different story to usual because we're also releasing it a day early because today is Remembrance Day or Poppy Day because we're remembering all the brave men who died during the First World War. So I'm going to tell a story from that. It's about an animal and there are lots and lots of these animal stories from the war. If you wanted to have a look at this book in your local library, got lots of lovely stories in it. Okay, it goes like this, and this is a true story. Long ago, just before the war started, in London there was a man called James Brown and he had a dog. The dog was called Prince. Oh, and they loved each other and they went out for long walks every day and the man enjoyed throwing the sticks for Prince to bring back to him. They were inseparable. That means they wanted to be together all the time. And then the war started and all the men had to start going to learn how to be soldiers and how to fight. And James went off and got a uniform, and some nights he'd come home in his uniform and he'd sit by the fire and he'd stroke Prince and say, "I'll be going soon." And Prince would just look at him. And then came the day when James had to go and fight in France. And he went down to the station with his wife who brought Prince. She gave her a big hug and said, "I'll be back soon, Maggie, look after Prince while I'm gone." And he gave Prince a final cuddle and got onto the train and was gone. Poor Prince. Oh, how he missed James. He missed going out for his walks with him. He missed lying at his feet at night by the fire, and he got sadder and sadder and sadder. And Maggie couldn't do anything with him. She tried to feed him his best food, wasn't interested. And then one day, something awful happened. Prince disappeared. Oh no, where's he gone? Maggie went all to the neighbours. "Is he here? Where's Prince? Have you got him here?" "No, he's not here." She went round the park. "Prince! Your dinner's ready. Come on, boy. Prince, I've got a lovely bone. Come on, boy. Come on, come home." Nowhere to be found. Oh no. After some time, she sat down and thought, "I'll have to write and tell James." So she sat down, she wrote him a letter. There were no phones then, you see. Letters were the only way they could tell them. "Dear James, I hope this finds you well and healthy. I'm really sorry to tell you, but Prince has gone missing." And she sent the letter. And weeks went by and weeks and she heard nothing. And she started to worry that something had happened to James. "I know, I'll write one more time." And so she did. "Dear James, I don't really know how to tell you this, but Prince has disappeared." Anyway, a few weeks later, you'll never guess what. She got a letter back in the post from James and she opened it up quickly, seeing what was the news. "Don't worry," it said. "You'll never guess what. Prince is here with me in France." Well, Maggie couldn't believe it. Fancy that. Nobody knows how Prince got out there, but they think he probably went to the station, saw some soldiers, got on the train with him, and then got on a boat, went all the way across the channel, and then went and found his master. Because either way, one day James was in the trenches, which were horrible, dark and smelly and cold and damp and miserable places, when he looked and he saw a little dog. He thought, "That looks like our Prince. It can't be." It does look like him though, and he called Prince's name. And Prince came running and jumped at him and licked his face and wagged his tail. James couldn't believe it, and neither could all the other soldiers in the trenches. But they all loved Prince because he kept them company. And he reminded them of all their friends and family back at home. And so Prince stayed with them in the trenches. And the officers were not supposed to like the dog being there, but they decided, because everybody loved Prince so much, that they'd let him be. He was very good for morale. That means he made everybody feel better. And so, do you know something? Prince stayed in those trenches with James for the whole of the war. He'd run up and down the trenches and check all the soldiers were fine. And if any were injured, he'd lay his head on their arm till they started to feel better. And at the end of the war, when all the soldiers were going home, somebody from the army called James in and said, James, we'd like to buy Prince off you to be our mascot for the army. And James said, that's very kind of you, but Prince is one of the family and we're going home now. The end. Wasn't that an amazing story? And as I said, it's true. It really happened. We hope you've enjoyed today's special memory service for the Poppy Day. And remember, you can learn all kinds of things about World War I too. We'll see you next time. Bye.